A major escalation of President Trump's promise of mass deportations. The New York Times reports the administration now plans to use military sites across the country to detain undocumented immigrants before deporting them. The first of those deportation hubs, Fort Bliss near El Paso, Texas, and it could hold as many as 10,000 immigrants as part of a plan to make up for a shortage of space at ICE facilities. Joining me now is NBC News investigative reporter Laura Strickler. Laura, welcome to you. So yesterday, President Trump reassigned the acting ICE director. He's been frustrated that his deportations aren't reaching that 1,400 arrests per day goal that he had. Now, the administration declined NBC News' request on the current pace of arrests and their cost. But what does your reporting tell you about ICE reaching its goals? And would these new military detention centers mean the number of arrests sharply increase?
Right. Well, actually, at the beginning of this week, Alex, we got some new information about how many people are currently in detention, and it's almost at the upper reaches of their capacity. So they can hold 41,500 detainees. They're at about 41,169 at this point. And that is what really paints the picture of a real need and a pressure that they face to get more space for detention. So we've seen that, and we've reported that there has been this conversations and new agreements happening with DOD to try to use more locations, military locations, as you mentioned. In particular, we've heard that the first location would be Fort Bliss in Texas. Mm-hmm. And I think that it really shows that while they were able to use Guantanamo as a deportation location temporarily, they did clear all of the detainees out on Thursday. NBC News broke that story on Thursday. And that was significant. So now there are no detainees there. The administration is telling us they will continue to use Guantanamo as a staging area for future deportations, like the folks who, the detainees who left there went straight to Venezuela.
Yeah, I think didn't they make a stop in Honduras as well? I mean, it was a zigzag, if you will, through the Caribbean. Yes. and then there. Let me ask you about the administration saying the beginning stage of its mass deportation plan, that it would involve prioritizing non-citizens with criminal histories. But you've reported 41% of the more than 4,400 people detained by ICE over those first 2 weeks of February do not have a criminal history. So what is the administration's response to this, Laura? How does it compare, by the way, to non-criminal immigration arrests during the Biden administration?
That's right. So the way ICE categorizes its detainees is criminal and non-criminal. So the non-criminals are folks who do not have a criminal conviction. They do not have pending criminal charges. They have what's known as other immigration violations. We asked the administration for a breakdown of these 1,800 people who were non-criminals that were taken into detention and in early February. We asked for a breakdown of what are those other immigration violations, did not get a response on that. So these could be people who came across the border and were taken into custody as they're considered to be collateral arrests, people who are there when criminals are detained, but we don't have a lot of further information about those immigration violations.
Let me ask my director, Sean, to put up some video for us. And what it shows is pretty gut-wrenching images. There are about 300 asylum seekers, most of them from Asia. They've been locked inside a hotel in Panama. They were deported there from the U.S. Again, 100 of them, about 8 children, we believe. They did not want to return to their home country. So they go to this detention camp, and it's on the outskirts of a jungle. And I'm just curious, the legality of this under international law, is it complying with the law?
Well, what we're seeing is that there are more and more countries that are in Central America that are offering to provide this way station for individuals before they are returned to their countries. And there's many, as you said, there's many different scenarios that play out. Some of these people want to be heading home and are waiting for the U.S. government to arrange that. And some of these people obviously do not. So it obviously sets up a situation where you have people in a country they've never been to. and have no family connections. And that it's obviously very difficult.
Yeah, for sure. Laura Strickler, thank you so much. We'll see you again.